Hi, everyone. This is James Nguyen. I am the creator and director of Birdemic. Birdemic, the first one, Birdemic Shock and Terror, and the sequel is coming out, premiering tomorrow, Birdemic 2, The Resurrection. And I'm here. I'm very grateful to be here, to be interviewed on the P.W.A. Show.
Let's talk a little bit behind the scenes of movie making. Before we get on to Birdemic 2, I don't know if you know or not, but we've interviewed Whitney Moore and Alan Bogg and TJ. And let me just say, for one thing, those guys are great. We love those three. They are wonderful. You found three huge future stars. You made those guys stars. They're going to get bigger and bigger, in my opinion. But when we were talking to Whitney, we had heard a rumor that you had an audition in a school parking lot. How did that work? What was the idea to have this audition in the school parking lot? What was that? Because I just find that to be a great story.
Yes, yeah, it's true. Well, the high school was in front of my parents' house, my house really,
Okay.
in San Jose in the Evergreen, the Queen Evergreen area. So my house is the high school is right in front, right in front of my house. So I just thought I can. Well, I had an audition in L.A. and in many other plays, real casting room, everything. It's just that I had two. Actually, Birdemic one. I had two false start. I had the actor. I have an actress before it. Everything was fine. Casting down L.A. with casting room and everything, and even flew her down there to we had first day of production, and the whole thing blew up because she wouldn't stay in Motel 6, and the whole thing blew up because of that. She wouldn't stay in Motel 6. She wanted the royal treatment, and for a budget less than 10,000, I told her I can't afford the Hilton. So she just walked off the set. She didn't walk on the set yet. I mean, she just basically bailed out. So after that, I was just tired of going down to LA and casting, and even in San Francisco, SF casting. So by the time I got to Whitney, I was just exhausted, and so I just thought, well, let's do it in front of, in front of the high school. It was on a weekend, and there's a lot of space, it's most like a park in front of this very high tech high school. It's one of the most beautiful high tech high school in whole America, really.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen that high school? They're pretty high tech, upper middle class. So I just invited her there, and we met there, and I did the audition, and when I saw her, I knew, I sensed that, well, she has to look, or can she act, and I did 3 take of her, the side, reading the sample script is from my second film, few lines, and and after that, it's like a day later on, I called back, offered a role. So it was her first movie ever. She has never been in a movie at all, but I saw her talent. Whitney is beautiful. She's not just beautiful, but she's talented. She's gifted. She doesn't, people like Whitney does not have to be taught how to act. They're natural. They just need a little guidance here and there, and they're gifted. And I wouldn't be surprised that one of these days that Whitney will become a big star in Hollywood, because she has paid her due for the last 3 or 4 years, but it takes time, and maybe Birdemic 2 will help her get a major break in Hollywood.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, I want to thank you for introducing us to Whitney Moore. I mean, but also I got a question, and this has been asked by a lot of people. Number one, thank you for the hotel scene in Birdemic 1. Loved it. But let's talk about, everybody's seen the movie. They watched the scene over and over, obviously. But the dirty feet scene, when you show her feet are dirty. Did you ever look at that and go, maybe I should go back and retouch it? Or were you just like, let's just let it fly? Or do you get a lot of comments maybe from weirdos out there telling you about that?
Yeah, you know what? I think I saw something online, some people saying dirty feet, something like that, but I didn't because we shot it. I think it was late at night. It was in Motel 6, and that's one thing because I was worrying a lot of other things. That's one thing that I didn't see. If you have a really crew, they can see a lot of things and they'll tell you. But when you have to, operate the camera and thing, I didn't see that until after we shot it. And yeah, I mean, the dirty feet, and I wish, it could be a clean, but it's one of those things where I can't even afford to touch it up, with visual effect. So I just let it be. I think the thing here is that the orchestration of the love making, I thought it was romantic, the way it was orchestrated. It was sexy, it was sensual. It was entertaining. It was comedic,
Yeah, it was wonderful.
And and the way it's orchestrated, it's beautiful. It's like a piece of art, rather than, when you see a lot of sex scene in the movies, a lot of time it's halfway porno, and I didn't want that, and naked. You don't have to show nudity in order to show the sexuality, the sexiness, I thought I managed to make that happen, and people like that scene, and the thing here is that I think that nudity has its place, and sometimes, when there's a romantic story, you want to make it sexy and sensual as much as possible, and romantic, and passionate and all that. But once you introduce the nudity into it, sometimes it may ruin the romance. It's one of those rules when you make a romantic film, that between the two characters, the male and female, and if you introduce the nudity and if it's not, see, sometimes you get away if you've done it right, but sometimes the nudity itself can hurt a romantic scene.
No, yeah, for sure, yeah. I mean, I think you played it out well, and I was tempted. Like, I wanted to go stay at a Motel 6 and leave the light on after that scene. So I think you did great.
Yeah. The dirty feet. Don't let anybody tell you any difference, man. That added to the greatness of the film, because it's one of those things only people who have seen the film numerous times even notice it anyway. So it adds to the greatness of the film.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Yeah, boy.